Hey everybody, welcome to another tutorial of mine. My name is Chris and I teach sewing and everything. So this is what we're going to be learning now. I'm calling it the Summer Solstice Maxi Dress. So I figured in inspiration of the Summer Solstice, which we had on June the 20th, that it was a good time for me to go ahead and do my own maxi dress tutorial because everybody else has one, right? So I'm actually going to be showing you how to use a pattern that you can buy from the store. And it's a see and sew. It's very, very easy. It took me a while to make it, but that's because I was going through the directions and kind of skipping around and going back and forth. There are a few things in the video that I actually skipped over completely and didn't really talk about. So it will be for kind of, slightly advanced users, but beginners can get a lot out of this too, because it is a very easy pattern to sew. The more difficult things I do talk about, but some of the easier things like sewing the zipper, I did a video on how to sew a centered zipper already, so I didn't cover that in this video. I also did a video on how to make a gathered skirt with a ruffle on the bottom, so I didn't put that in this video, but I will put links, that way you can find those videos and still carry on. Other than that, another thing I didn't like was how it didn't really fit really well here, and I know if I had made the pattern myself, it would have been really fitted right there and just boom, burst out from this seam here. But whatever, it works, it's cute. So hopefully this will get you excited and you'll want to make your own maxi dress from this pattern. You'll go buy it. It was only like $2.99 or something, so go buy the pattern, go grab you a 14-inch zipper, and let's get started, okay? Alrighty, in order to make your Summer Solstice maxi dress here, you're going to need a couple things. A tape measure is one. You're going to need a 14-inch zipper if you're using this pattern. And of course you're going to need your pattern. Now I went and bought this pattern from Joanns because it's much simpler than us going and making the pattern, so that's why I bought that. So that way you can get started and have your maxi dress, done by the end of the night, as long as you have all your supplies. Now you still need fabric. I'm going to be using muslin, which is way over here. My muslin in this big thing, and if you've ever seen me do my other videos, I use muslin for everything because it's easy for me to get to, so we'll be using that. Like I said, you need your pattern also. You're going to need a person and or a dress form to take your measurements on. This is the one that I usually use, and I'm not going to be using her now. I'm going to be using this one. Number one, because she's smaller and she doesn't use as much fabric. That way I can do more videos and not have to go and buy fabric every 5 minutes. And it's just, and she looks a little better. She's not as worn out as this one. So anywho, gonna be using this dress form for that. And what else? You're gonna need a sewing machine. So make sure you have some kind of sewing machine. As far as your needle goes, you just need like a universal needle that can pretty much sew through most things. What else? You're gonna need some thread, either like your regular run-of-the-mill cotton polyester blend or 100% polyester, and you need it in a matching color, something that's gonna match the fabric that you're using. Now because my muslin is like that beigey color, and that's something that I made for a different video. Since my muslin is going to be that beigey color, I'm going to be using a contrasting thread because I want you to be able to see it. Okay, so just like I did this one, that's kind of going to be the color scheme we're using here. And I got a zipper that also matches in color to the muslin. This is a natural zipper. Can you see that? Yeah, natural color zipper. And also, just in case you want to go grab this pattern, this is the number of the pattern, and it says all sizes included. It does have all the sizes that you need in it, so that's all the sizes that it does. And then, in order to figure out what size you're going to need, all you have to do is open the pattern up. Now the first little sheet, well, I guess the only sheet in here, the directions, if you look right here at the beginning where it has the technical sketch, and you look down past the pieces, shows here the body measurements. And really, since it only fits in the bust area, that's the measurement you really need to focus on. And so now we can move on to the first step, and I'm going to show you how to find out what size you are. Alrighty, so one of the first things you need to do is take your tape measure and you need to measure around your dress form. Now if you're measuring yourself, it'd be better to get someone else to take your bust measurement, just because you need to go in as straight a line as possible all the way around the back. Come here. So once you get it, so she is about 34 in the bust area, okay, and here in the waist, she's a 24. So if we look over here at our measurements, she's 34 in the waist and 24, I'm sorry, 34 in the bust and 24 in the waist. 34 is going to put us up here, and we know that's not going to be exactly right because her waist and hip are going to be too big. And then the waist is going to be here at 24. So I probably will end up using the 12 measurements, just because I don't want it to be too small in the bust, because that's the place it actually has to fit. So we're going to end up using the 12. Okay. Now if you take this pattern and you open it up, all you have to do is find the bodice front, and it shows you another place that you can get a good bust measurement from. Now, we know nowadays we don't wear our clothes really loose, and when they make patterns they add something called wearing ease to all of the garments that they make patterns for. So if you cut the 12 out like we were thinking, then the bust is going to end up being 35.5 inches when it's finished sewn up. So if your bust is a 34, that's an extra 1.5 inches that's around your boobs, and it's probably not going to fit like you think it is. That's the same reason why you go to department stores and all their sizes are different, you know, depending on which department store you go through, because number one, their starting size is different, and number two, when they make the clothing, their ease that's in everything is completely different. So jeans at one place that are a size 12 aren't going to fit the same as jeans at another place that are a size 12. So anyway, we want the one that's going to finish as close to 34 as possible. So even like 34 3/4 probably would have been a little better, or 34.5, but 34 exactly is what we're going to get. So we're going to do number 10, and we're going to end up cutting out that size. Alright. Okay, so what pieces do we need? We need, we're going to do view B, which is the long maxi dress for our nice pretty summer solstice dress. And so we look down here. This will show you all the pieces that are included in the pattern, and this will tell you for views A and B, or even if you're just looking at B, it's meaning that you're really going to use pretty much the same pieces for both, and then it'll specify which ones you want. So if you come down, bodice front is piece number 1. That's this funny looking piece here. These little lines, as far as I know, they're the grain lines. And I'm sure they're saying they can only be placed in a certain way. But anywho, so that's piece 1, the bodice front. The bodice back is piece 2. Okay. Piece 3 is the shoulder strap. And that's here. Now piece 4 says pocket A. Now that means you're only going to be using that pocket if you're doing the view A, which you see these pockets in there. I don't really like the pockets at all, even if I wanted to add them to B or add some pockets. I really don't like it. So anywho, we're doing B, and it doesn't use pockets anyway. Yay, no pockets, they're kind of ugly. Anyway, so we're not going to be using 4. So I'm going to mark a little line through that so we don't make a mistake and cut that out. I'll mark a little line through for. Okay. Then your skirt front and back, that is going to be this part of it. And that's going to be 5. And then if you look at this, you see 5 has an A in this section and then a B in that section. That doesn't mean that we're just going to use this section down here for B. We're going to use this entire length, because what it's really saying is if you cut here, then you'll be making the shorter length for A. If you cut here, you'll be making the longer length for B. Okay? So we're going to need the entire piece, not just this top section. Okay? Then down here where it says front and back ruffle B. Now that means when you come up here, this doesn't have a ruffle on it on A, but it does on B. That's exactly what it means by having that little B right there. It's just on view B, okay? Just like this is just on view A. So, we're going to come up here, and you're going to see a 6, and you see a B, so you're only using this for the B view, okay? So this is the pieces. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, okay? So then, come over here, and remember we're using the size 10, right? Because we want it as close to 34 as possible, because we like our stuff to fit a little closer. And then also, the bottom of the skirt isn't going to fit at all. It's going to be humongous because it has all these gathers in it. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go through our pattern, find the pieces we need by looking at the numbers on the little direction card thing. So we need piece 1, 2, 3, 6, and 5. We don't need 4 at all. So really, if you just find all the pieces that came with your pattern, this sheet and then the sheet down there, if you find both of those sheets, all you have to do is find piece 4A and throw it away or put it to the side so that you don't make a mistake and cut it out. And then on all the other pieces, just cut out the 10 sign. So for instance, piece 4 is over here. So either I can draw a line through it if I think I'm never ever